CBS Sports Network. Up next is Temple and head coach Rod Carey. The Owls are 3-1 overall. They were in action this past Saturday against Georgia Tech. They defeated Georgia Tech 24-2. Temple begins conference play Thursday. They'll be playing at ECU, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. As we mentioned at the top of the call, Benny Walls from Temple is the Americans' Defensive Player of the Week. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. And not too many 24-2 scores have been in your history, I imagine, but get your thoughts on the game against Georgia Tech. Maybe a few words about Benny's performance and that of your defense, and then what you expect to see on a short week as you go to play ECU on Thursday.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Good morning or afternoon now. No, yeah, you're right. 24-2 odd thing, giving up the safety there. Really, defense pitched the shutout. And what else do you need to say when your defense goes out and pitches a shutout against an ACC team? So it was well executed by them. And I thought the offense did an outstanding job, too, of executing the game plan that we asked them to execute, and won the turnover battle and won the rushing battle. And usually when you do that, good things happen. So, like you said, it's a short week. So trying to get these guys, there's a delicate balance here between prepping them and getting a game plan in and getting their bodies back right on a 5-day turnaround. It's extremely difficult with the pounding that these guys take. And Benny, to hit on your last point there, I think Benny had a great game. Obviously, he was our player of the week defensively, and a little bit of the right place, right time with the fumble, but he ran it back, and then an excellent play on the pick, and just was real active the rest of the game too, and was in the right place and executed at a high level.
Coach, we'll take questions for Coach Rod Carey, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
Our first question comes from Sean Pastor of Owls Daily. Please go ahead.
Hey, Rod. So just wanted to throw a couple questions about your pass defense. It seemed like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seemed like on Saturday you didn't really go much nickel or anything. When they put 3 or 4 receivers out there and it was a passing down, it was your safeties who you put a lot of, Benny and Aaron Monroe, you put your safeties in a lot of coverage, responsibility. Is that, have they really come along in that part of, what safeties have to do since the beginning of the season?
Well, they've definitely improved. There's no question. Part of that is also the game plan and who you're facing, the opponent coming in and running at a high rate that they were. Didn't feel like we wanted to get that third corner on there when, corners are, pass coverage guys. And, no matter the down and distance, what may seem like a pass down and distance against that team certainly wasn't. And so wanted to keep our run stoppers in there. And, thought the safeties, obviously, Benny did a great job.
Okay, and then further to that, Amir Tyler kind of has worked his way, it seems, into the rotation. I don't know if that was specific maybe to the game plan there or, where he, fits in climbing the depth chart at the safety spot.
Yeah, it was definitely intentional. He is he's back healthy, and he is earning his way back onto the field. And so that's, credit to him and how he is practicing and attacking each practice.
Okay, one quickie about East Carolina. Did you, in the off-season, look at any East Carolina tape from last year? And if so, or maybe you looked at James Madison, but if so, the defense that you might have seen the last couple days looking at their tape versus what you might have seen before, how different is it?
Well, we did all of the above, James Madison, ECU for personnel, and then obviously this week put it all together now that they're 5 games into it. And, it's a short week. We're on Monday. Obviously, we're knee-deep in it right now, and we feel like, we have an understanding of it. Obviously, we got to keep working to have a better understanding of it as coaches and players as the week goes on.
Okay, their stats are so much better defensively. Is that you see on film?
Sean, sorry, we just want to get to the next one. Just we can, if we have time, we can come back to you for the follow-up. Thanks.
Our next question comes from John DiCarlo of owlscoop.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, Rod, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Hey, I wanted to ask you about the running game. Obviously, Ramon carried it 29 times Saturday. Jagger had it 18. You got a short week. I know that you had mentioned Kyle Dobbins at some point, so you're kind of hoping for him to come along. And I know Eilig's not with the program anymore. How are things developing behind those two guys? Obviously, Ramon and Jagger have done a good job, but how are things going with Kyle? And like, who would you go to as that third back right now if you needed somebody, especially maybe on a short week?
Yeah, well, Kyle right now certainly is that third guy and has done a good job. He was ready to go in that game. He stayed locked in the whole time, was really pleased with that. And then Kayvon Ruley and then young guy Sadie would factor into there too. And certainly looking at that on a short week, kind of got to see where everybody's health is and all those things. But again, you have to earn it. And those guys, Dobbins has done a good job all year being ready, and he's the third guy right now.
Cool. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Your other questions for Coach Carey, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad if so. Coach, appreciate you giving us a few minutes again in a short week. Best of luck to you this weekend. We'll look forward to talking to you again next Monday.